Good morning, vitamin. Good morning, everyone. This is Cesar Delgado from Back Roads of Illinois on YouTube. The weather is pretty good, but we are in drought in north central Illinois. Yes, it's been fair. Guess what? I'm a NAF member. National Farm Broadcasters Association member. I am with Max Armstrong and Todd Gleason, other big farm broadcasters. Yeah. However, we are getting other news.
No.
I have Michael Steenh from America Soybeans Associated. I have Michael Steenhope from America's Soybeans Associated on today. We have to talk about Chinese trade and crop conditions in central U.S. and biofuel. I'm going to be a busy guy. I'm going to do with my podcast for each other Friday morning. I'm going to be a busy guy. I'm going to do with my podcast for each other Friday mornings. I have a lot of things for this fall. But I will be back on this December. Good guest. Illinois corn crop is 188 versus 190 from last year. Illinois corn crop is 188 versus 190 from last year, and soybeans 60 versus 68 from last year, according to the Pro Farmer Tour. It is a lower rate available for this crop of this year. Yeah, I agree that because it's been a pretty weird year for this season. Please be patient. I'm using a computer to help me communicate.
That's fine. It's good to be with you. I am doing fine. It's good to be with you. I've read some interesting articles about you, so congratulations on your podcast.
Good morning. Mike, how are you today? I'm Cesar Delgado from Ottawa, Illinois.
Well, it's good to be with you, Caesar.
How is in central Illinois and southern Illinois?
Well, that's very good. Yeah. So it's an interesting time of the year. We're starting to get a feel for how the harvest is going. So I'm happy to. It's interesting to hear all the different scout reports and how the crop is shaping up. So hopefully it'll turn out good this fall.
What is the yield for beans?
Well, right now it's still just kind of a forecast for how things are looking this year. There's still an opportunity for soybean yields to improve. And we've just been watching some of the scout reports that have occurred this past week, and it's looking like there's still going to be a pretty healthy soybean crop, but not to the same extent as last year. But yeah, we're still hopeful for some timely rains to help make the production better.
Can you repeat that again?
Well, the yield potential this year for soybeans, it's still being determined. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, they put out estimates on a routine basis. I know this past week a number of scouts have gone out into the fields in a number of states to try to estimate what the yield potential is, particularly for corn and for soybeans. And it really kind of varies depending on the particular state. There are a number of states that have had pretty considerate impact from drought. But But I think overall, particularly for soybeans, there's still an opportunity to really improve the yields if we get some timely rains. It looks like it won't be as significant of a crop as it was last year, but it's still looking like that we'll have a pretty healthy soybean crop in 2022. We're certainly hopeful that occurs.
Like Pro Farmer Crop Tour.
Yeah, that's the one that we and many others have been following this past week, and so getting those reports from them has been very insightful. So yeah, they're showing, certain areas are really impacted by drought, other areas are looking pretty healthy. But again, the report that they've issued, they talk about we could really use some timely rains during this next month to really help enhance the soybean crop as well as the corn crop to an extent.
Just tell me about yourself and your career.
Well, I am the executive director of an organization called the Soy Transportation Coalition. And this organization has been in existence for 15 years. It was established in 2007. Oh. And it is funded by a group of state soybean associations, along with our two national soybean organizations, the American Soybean Association, which is the organization that does government policy and lobbying for soybean farmers, and as well as the United Soybean Board, which is our national checkoff organization. So the two national soybean groups, along with 13 state soybean associations, decided to create this organization that really focuses on infrastructure that farmers care about and that farmers depend upon to be successful. So you'll find me working on an issue like rural roads and bridges, working at the county level with county engineers and county elected officials. I work on things like the inland waterway system with locks and dams. That's a mode of transportation that's very important to agriculture, river transportation. I work on freight rail issues, and I also work on port issues, and that can be at the national level, the federal level, with organizations like the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. So I've been the executive director of this organization, Soy Transportation Coalition, since it was created in 2007. Prior to doing that, I worked in public policy. I was a staff member for a United States Senator from the state of Iowa. Chuck Grassley is his name. He's still a U.S. Senator. I worked for him in his Washington, D.C. office, and then also in his office in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm originally from Central Iowa. And my education background is I went to the University of Iowa, studied political science and Russian language. And then I ended up getting a master's of business administration from the University of Iowa. So I work on behalf of farmers, trying to find ways to make transportation more cost effective and reliable. So that's the goal of the organization, the Soy Transportation Coalition.
Can I interview you about the transportation in the future?
Yeah, any questions that you may want to ask, I'm happy to answer them. So again, I work on things related to rural roads and bridges, our highways, our freight rail, our inland waterways with our rivers like the Mississippi River, as well as our ports. So all of those transportation modes are very important to farmers, and so that's something that I work on.
I thought you were in America's soybeans.
Yeah, the American Soybean Association is one organization that's a part of the Soy Transportation Coalition. My office is in the Iowa Soybean Association building. But again, I work on behalf of these 13 state soybean associations, the Illinois Soybean Association, the North Dakota Soybean Council, the Ohio Soybean Council. There's 13 of these state soybean associations that I work for, along with the two national soybean groups, the American Soybean Association and the United Soybean Board. And so we work on these transportation issues that are within the United States that really are important for helping farmers get the soybeans that they grow to their customers, whether it's a domestic customer here in the United States or an international customer.
Did you grow up with agricultural?
Yeah, I myself did not grow up on a farm. I grew up in Des Moines, Iowa, in the city, but both of my parents grew up on farms in central Iowa. And so as I grew up, I would routinely go visit my grandparents on the farm. And when you work for Senator Grassley, you often will interface interact with farmers and others within agriculture on a host of issues. So while I myself did not grow up on a farm, it certainly is in my family background.
Good. I am a National Farm Broadcasters Association member since last week.
Well, the National Association of Farm Broadcasting is a very important organization, and I've been a member as well for a number of years. And I always enjoy going to their annual meeting. Usually, it's in Kansas City, and that organization is really important to the agricultural industry and helping tell the story of farmers and agriculture. And so any opportunity to help increase that message is very important, because as you know, there's a lot of people, a growing number of people in this country who have never been on a farm. They don't know farmers. They are multiple generations removed from the farm, so they don't really have an understanding or appreciation for where their food comes from. So having organizations like the National Association of Farm Broadcasting and all of their members help tell that story is really important. It plays a really vital role in our country.
True. I'm excited to be the family. I'm excited to be the family of National Farm Broadcasters Association.
Well, it's an important organization, and there's some really wonderful people who are a part of it. And I think farm broadcasters are just a wonderful group of people, as well as farmers in general. And it's a real delight to be able to work in this role. One of obviously the issues I think are really important. So I never have problem being motivated to show up to work every day, because what I think the goal of helping promote agriculture and farming is something that's a very worthy and noble goal. But then, also just one of the benefits is just being able to work with some really terrific people, and that includes the farm broadcasters around the country.
Right. Well, my pleasure to meet you.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you too. Thanks for reaching out, and I look forward to keeping in touch. And if I ever can be a service to you, of resource to you, I hope you always will reach out.
Yes, I will. All right, talk to you later. Have a fantastic weekend.
Well, you too. I look forward to keeping in touch. Okay. Have a great weekend, Caesar.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye, Caesar. Have a great weekend.
This is Mike Steenh from Soybeans Transportation. Please subscribe to my podcast on YouTube. It's called Back's Road of Illinois. We'll talk to you later. Have a fantastic weekend.
You too. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.